Hello from Marmaris.
We're here for a few days. We're excited to explore this seaside town. It already looks beautiful.
This is our first time in Marmaris, and there are lots of foods we want to try. From an amazing baklava spot to a special local honey to a type of kebab we've never even heard of before, this city is definitely going to be an adventure. Stay tuned to see it all and find out what our best Marmaris meal was, and let us know in the comments if you've been here. Let's go eat. We're starting off our Marmaris food adventure by trying some baklava. We've heard that there's a great spot here and we can't wait to give it a try. This place is called Bahadirliolu, and as soon as we walked in, we were mesmerized by the baklava case. There are so many varieties and they all looked amazing. It was pretty difficult to choose what we wanted, so we decided to get a bunch of different types and of course some Turkish tea to go along with it. These were all really good, but our favorite were these small square pistachio ones. This one was made from many sheets of thin, crunchy dough, expertly layered with nutty pistachios. These have the perfect amount of sweetness, but the pistachios also add just a tiny bit of saltiness. While we're on the topic of sweets, there's a type of honey that is specific to Marmaris that we're on the hunt for.
Okay, so this place is also famous for its honey, specifically chambalı, which means pine honey. So we found a place called Balcı Gökmen, which is pretty famous. I read a bunch of reviews on it online. So we're walking there now and we're gonna eat some honey, which I absolutely love.
This store turned out to be such a great find. Not only do they have so much honey, but they have tons of other interesting local products too. One that I particularly love are these chocolate-covered figs mixed with walnuts. They are super decadent. Chewy, nutty, and chocolatey, these are a treat to really savor.
We just went into Balcı Gökmen and we sat outside to eat interesting treats.
Yeah, they have a lot of really cool, interesting food items in there. We got some figs with walnuts covered in chocolate. They're delicious. There are so many good looking little treats like that. It was really hard to decide what to get. So we got that. We got some honey, which we'll try in a bit. Mehmet got this. What is this?
It's like a tea product. I have to look it up because it's called bomba atom çayı, which meaning you just boil water. I talked to the guy in there. You basically just boil water like tea and then you drop it in. And it's supposed to be really healthy for you. We need to do some research on exactly what it is, to be honest. But I love tea, so I figured I'll try it even though I don't know exactly what it is. They have so much stuff in there. We thought it was just a honey place, but definitely check this place out. They were super friendly and very helpful.
Okay, but now back to that honey we promised. We popped into a nearby bakery to grab some simits to try our honey with. This specific type of local honey is not made from the nectar of flowers, but from the sap of pine trees. This gives it a slightly woody, earthy flavor that is really unique and different than most honey we've tried. We're told that it also has higher levels of antioxidants than regular flower honey and that this health benefit has made it really popular. Paired with some simit, this made for the perfect little breakfast. At first glance, Marmaris does appear to be quite a tourist town, with lots of loud, crowded restaurants and bars, not quite the scene that we really seek out. But there are some great gems to be found, and Ney Restaurant is definitely one of those places. This restaurant is set in the windy streets of the Marmaris Old Town, with a view overlooking the harbor. They have a menu full of fresh seafood, meat dishes, and mezes, and they're making everything to an incredibly high standard. We started off with some segar börek and muşver. Segar börek is kind of like a Turkish version of a mozzarella stick, but in our opinion, it's way better. It's basically cheese stuffed inside phyllo dough and fried. Most of the time when you order these, you get frozen ones, but these were clearly homemade and they were miles better than any we've had in the past. The outside was so crunchy and the inside so soft and cheesy. They were really a delight. The muşver, which are crispy zucchini fritters, are also some of the best we've had. If you like learning about local spots like this, give us a thumbs up so we know to keep showing them to you. We were already so impressed with this restaurant, but Mehmet's main was one of the best meals we've had anywhere in Türkiye. He had a dish called Manti Borek, which was something neither of us were familiar with, but what an amazing discovery this was. Manti Borek is a dish that combines two popular elements of Turkish cuisine: manti, which are small dumplings filled with seasoned meat, and borek, a savory pastry. The dish itself was absolutely amazing. Even though it had yogurt on top, each bite was still so crispy. And the tangy garlic yogurt and spicy rich butter on top created the perfect balance of texture and flavor. My dish, a very generous portion of fried mackerel, was also very good. The fish tasted fresh and had the perfect light fry, giving them a little crunch. If you come to Marmaris and don't eat at Ney Restaurant, you are definitely missing out. This is an excellent spot. Our delicious meals didn't stop there though. After so many heavy meals lately, I was definitely in need of something fresh and kind of healthy. A quick Google search indicated that a spot called Muse might be exactly what I wanted. And it turned out to be the perfect thing. I ordered a salmon bowl that was full of fresh vegetables, healthy seeds, and a large piece of salmon that was cooked perfectly with crispy skin. This bowl was as delicious as it was beautiful. There were actually a number of local dishes in and around Marmaris that we had planned to show you in this video, but we had a lot of trouble finding them, which left us feeling a little disappointed on our last night here. We are heading to dinner now after many failed attempts today to find the foods that we wanted to eat. We're hoping that maybe we can find some of them at dinner, or at least some other local favorites. So we don't have much of a plan right now. We're kind of winging it. Let's see what we can eat. While not necessarily local foods, our final dinner in Marmaris ended up being pretty delicious. Mehmet had a steak that was perfectly cooked. To be honest, it's common for steaks to be a bit overcooked in Türkiye, but here it was perfectly pink inside while remaining tender and juicy. I went with a pretty decadent option as well, a piece of fish that was stuffed with shrimp and crab. There was so much succulent crab meat and shrimp in here, and the fish was cooked perfectly with a crispy golden exterior. Both of our plates came with these really soft and buttery mashed potatoes that had been broiled just a bit to give them some additional depth. This meal definitely made up for our disappointment of not being able to find everything on our list in Marmaris.
Okay, so we've eaten at a lot of places in Marmaris. What's your favorite?
I think my favorite was actually your meal, the Manti Borek that you had at Ney Restaurant. That was really, really good. And unlike anything I've had before, seen before, it's really different. So, sorry, I think that's my pick.
Yeah, it's going to be a boring answer, but mine is exactly the same. It was really good. It was very crispy, even though there was yogurt on it. I thought it was going to be soggy when it came out, but it definitely wasn't. And it was just beautiful. I had to basically untwirl it. I was basically playing with my food, it felt like. Sorry, Mom. But it was really good. The meat went through the oven and it was still very, very juicy. So I definitely very, very highly recommend that dish if you're in Marmaris.
Everything at that restaurant was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a hard pick, but that was really the best.
Yeah, and the wait staff was amazing. They were so nice, very helpful. So if you're here and you want to feel like you're eating at home, highly recommend it.
Which of these dishes do you think would be your favorite? Let us know in the comments. As with just about everywhere we've been on Turkey's Aegean coast so far, Marmaris is super dog friendly and just requires that you manage the local strays. Next week, we're headed to Bodrum, the famous seaside town of Turkey's rich and famous, that is also full of great local food, including a truly amazing kebab and a preparation of manti we've never tried before. Subscribe so you're sure not to miss it. See you next week.